Hello, I'm Jessica Evans, and this is my final project for organizational behavior. The three topics I'll be talking about are perception errors, rational decision making, and workplace conflict. For the first topic, perception error, Skandura emphasizes that perception is inherently subjective and shaped by cognitive shortcuts that can lead to systemic errors, such as stereotyping, the halo effect, selective perception, and fundamental attribution error. Learning about the above provided a theoretical foundation for thinking about how my interpretations of other people's workplace behavior may not have always been grounded objectively. For a personal example, one of the programs I oversee is an acute treatment services program, often referred to as detox or withdrawal management. A year ago, we had to let the program director go, and I chose an interim director who had been doing an excellent job in a completely different role, but who did have previous experience at another agency in working with withdrawal management and supervising staff. I now recognize the influence of the halo effect in my decision to appoint Mike as interim director. Strong performance leading a small grant-based program led me to assume he had the skills and abilities needed to direct a much larger, more complex program. Applying Skandura's framework going forward, I'll adopt a more analytical and balanced approach and be sure to detail expectations when working with a replacement rather than assume what knowledge an internal candidate may have. Through ongoing reflective practice, I'm actively working to mitigate perception errors in similar situations by seeking multiple perspectives, such as those of other leaders and the staff who have direct experience with the prospective interim, questioning first impressions by having a list of objective criteria to compare against, and considering situational factors before forming conclusions, as I would for any external candidate in an interview. Reviewing this theory enhanced my self-awareness and strengthened my ethical decision-making capabilities. Ultimately, integrating Skandura's analysis of perception errors into my professional practice contributes to improved effectiveness and more equitable evaluation. Rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making is defined as a deliberate, systemic process involving identification of the problem, establishing and weighing decision criteria, generating alternatives, and selecting the best solution. In my role as COO, I'm routinely responsible for decisions that impact organizational performance across multiple functions, including operations, finance, and programming. A few years ago, I participated in developing a procedure that unknowingly paralleled rational decision-making. The reason we developed this new procedure is that we were concerned that when there were critical incidents, staff often missed important steps for reducing risk for patients, staff, and the agency. The new procedure we developed was a way to ensure staff would slow down, assess all the facts, involve others in decision-making, and communicate and document appropriately. The new procedure, CASA's Critical Incident Mnemonic, MACDAD, stands for Make Safe, Assess, Consult, Communicate, Decide, Act, Document, and Debrief. We've trained all staff on the mnemonic, redesigned our critical incident report form to follow its structure, and created posters of it for all buildings so all staff know what to do in emergency situations. In urgent clinical or operational crises, even partial application of the model ensures staff are not acting reactively, but rather consulting with others and clarifying decision objectives to ensure they evaluate alternatives. It has proved instrumental in reducing bias and ensuring defensible, transparent decisions. This is an example of how a rational decision-making approach is applied in my leadership practice, shifting reactive problem-solving to intentional, data-informed decision-making. Ultimately, Scandora's rational decision-making framework has been integral to my professional growth and to the way I lead others, reinforcing the importance of structured decision processes in all high-risk situations. The third topic I wanted to talk about is workplace conflict. Workplace conflict is an inevitable outcome of organizational interdependence, competing priorities, and limited resources. One recurring example in my work involves tension between the IT department and finance regarding increasing costs for process improvements such as reporting platforms and interoperability platforms. Inherently, the IT department is trying to meet the needs of the program and regulator expectations with the increased functionality, and the finance department is trying to find places to reduce costs in the largest parts of the budget. Applying Scandora's framework, I intentionally reframe these disagreements as constructive task conflict. In our cross-departmental meetings, I encouraged the department leaders to voice concerns, challenge assumptions, present arguments, and articulate operational risks and finance constraints. By separating objective ideas from individuals, or taking things personally, I minimized relationship conflict while encouraging constructive debate. This approach resulted in more informed decisions, improved trust, and stronger alignment between short-term financial discipline and long-term operational resilience. This application strengthened my ability to manage complex dynamics and improve decision-making processes. Ultimately, embracing conflict as a constructive and manageable component of organizational life reinforced the critical role of conflict management in achieving sustainable operational performance. I used Scandora's text as my reference for all the above. Thank you for a great semester.